Hey guys, welcome back to Attack on Titan World. How has your week been? My week has been full of just heat. It's been really hot here in the UK, or at least my part of the UK, for the past week. It's been crazy hot, and even now, I'm sitting in a completely enclosed room because neighbors are obviously barbecuing and all that nonsense because it's just the way. A little bit of heat comes out, everyone pulls out the barbecue sets, which is fine. I actually went to a barbecue yesterday, so there you go. Everyone gets the barbecue sets out, even socially anxiety me. It's been incredibly hot. It's nice, I guess. It's nice, but not nice for people like me who don't leave the house and sit in rooms playing video games because it gets really, really hot. Anyway, this, I believe, is the last week in April. Is it the last week in April? Is it actually the last week in April? Maybe we should actually, check that before I go into, some sort of crazy rant on, April and stuff. Yeah, it's basically the last Monday in April. Technically the 30th is the last day in April, but fuck that. Fuck the 30th. We're talking about this month and then next month. That's what we're doing. So this month, what games did we buy? What games did we play this month? I got Darkest Dungeon on the Switch, and I got Yakuza Song of Life, which is Yakuza 6. That's right. Darkest Dungeon was garbage. I cannot play that. The control scheme is so bad. I can't deal with the controls. I love Darkest Dungeon. It's a fucking great game. I can't deal with the controls. It's always a fear whenever you get one of these these games that were quite clearly designed for a PC game and stuff like that. When they port to a console, it's always quite scary. Prison Architect, that was terrible on the PlayStation, and Darkest Dungeon doesn't seem to have translated very well for me. It's got very weird controls that don't make sense. You can get through it. Obviously, you can learn the controls and get through it. The controls are just not very good, and it kind of diminishes the fun of it when the controls aren't very good. So that game's definitely a stay on PC sort of situation. I think definitely keep that one on the PC. I still have it on Steam. It looks like I lost it on Steam, and Steam is probably the best place to get Darkest Dungeon. With the mouse, it just makes so much sense. You can get it on tablet, I guess, and also on Switch. It does have touchscreens controls. So that's nice, and that is actually probably the best way to play it if you haven't got a mouse attached to it, because it's just not very good. The controls just don't make any sense. It's just up and down, and swapping your infantry pages from your map page, and none of it quite makes sense. And sometimes you do things that you don't necessarily want to do. So definitely touchscreen or mouse controls to go with that. Otherwise, Darkest Dungeon is just as good as it is always. Except for this one comes with all the added little DLC bits, because that's just what we do now. When we re-release a game, they add all the DLC in, which is quite nice, quite frankly. So Yakuza. I've not had time to play a super amount of Yakuza. Yakuza 6 is so far. I think I'm on chapter 3. I'm on chapter 3 or something like that. Now, if you're a fan of Yakuza and you enjoy those games, you probably already own it. I would recommend you absolutely go and buy it. It's really good. So far. So I've played 3 chapters of it, and so far it's possibly the best in the series combat-wise. Assuming it doesn't get balls to the wall, difficulty hard at some point without even knowing it. But it's actually very good. It's very satisfying to combat and stuff like that. If you haven't seen I did put a video out on Yakuza 6. I put a video of Strife plays for a while, so you can go check that out if you want to. It's a very good game. It's very fun. It's very fun to play. The story is super heartwarming. I don't really. The thing is, it's hard to talk about this because I don't really want to spoil it about like what's happening. But Kiryu, he has another child to look. What the hell? I want you out. He has another child to look after now. And obviously, you know, stuff happens, blah blah, with the Yakuza and all that stuff. The town has been built up a bit more, and you can go and visit Hiroshima. You can go visit that area of Japan as well, which is really cool. And that's about as far as I've got. So maybe I'll talk about that a bit more once I've finished it. But even then, I'm not sure because I don't necessarily want to spoil stuff because the story is like. It's so good. It's the thing you want to play it for, you know.
I shall go.
But that's fine because we're also here to talk about what games are coming out next month and what games we want to get. I don't know what I'm going to talk about next Monday now. I thought this was the last Monday, but turns out it's not. Turns out we've got 30th as well. Who fucking knows? But anyway, I actually have a list this time. That's right. I actually got a Google list and I was like, haha. Advances in the strangest places here on the show, we decided that we're going to need a list because I'm terrible at remembering the name of the games. And then I have to Google it anyway, so I may as well get a list ahead of time, right? But we have one. We have a list, and I will tell you the list in a second. I don't know, it's difficult. I've been jumping back and forth this month. I didn't know which ones I was going to get, because obviously you can't buy every game that comes out, right? That's going to cost you a fortune. I'm very lucky to be able to afford the amount of games that I can afford. You know, it's expensive. It's being a gamer. It's an expensive hobby. You know, it costs you a lot of bucks. Did we just kill them all? We did not. Good. Okay, that's fine. It costs you a lot of money to be a gamer these days. You know, with pre-order bonuses, with buy this, buy now, buy everything else, special editions, ultimate editions, super omega, fucking Mary Poppins editions, you know, it gets confusing and it gets hard to buy this stuff, and there's a lot of fucking games that no one buys because they don't know how to deal with it, and I don't blame them for that. These boxes even gonna be any good? Like, I'm trying my hardest to fucking hit them all here, but fuck it, that's useless for them. No, they weren't they weren't that good at all, were they? Right, anyway, right, so, let's talk about the games that are coming out in May. Because May is, I guess, like, the beginning of when things start getting hot and, like, people want video games to hide away from the sun with. Is that the situation? But, of course, you know, I'm going to be talking about the games that I necessarily have a huge interest in. Because I don't want to necessarily talk about every single game on here, because I don't know about every single fucking game on here. Like Total War, stuff like that. Total War is fucking cool, but it's not really in my bucket. But Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze, huh? You're looking for something to cool you off? There you go. It's good. Donkey Kong is a great game. That's the major issue with this one, is that I've already played this. I have already played Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze on the Wii U, and now I'm not sure whether or not I want to spend 50 quid on paying this shit again, or 40 quid, I guess. It has a new funky mode, but judging from the trailer, it looks like the funky mode just allows you to be Funky Kong, and then they take all the obstacles out of the game. You know, they just make it really fucking easy to play, basically. I think that's the idea of funky mode. It's just like a child, like a 2-year-old mode, basically. Like that's what it feels like. That's what it looks like. And so I don't really care about funky mode. I want to play it normally and play it difficultly because that game is hard. Donkey Kong Country has always been kind of difficult platforming, and the Donkey Kong Country Returns is no exception. That shit's difficult. There's a Conan game, for some reason, didn't know that. There's a Sign game, which I believe is an anime game, right? And I've never really super been into these sort of things, because I love anime and all that sort of stuff, but the sign it's like a visual novel, and I've never been super into visual novels. Like they can be really good. Like I think stuff like Persona 5 is like almost a visual novel, but it also has a game there. It's not just like books, you know, just a book. So if you want a novel, you may as well get a book, right? I don't know. I never really saw the personal appeal when it comes to light novels. There's a Shin Megami Tensei game coming out on the 3DS. I myself has got the old 3DS, so I'm not going to be buying it. My old 3DS is literally a Pokemon machine right now because it's the only game that I can stomach to play on it, because playing it for very long hurts my hands because it's like a square rectangle when it's like the very first 3DS that came out. It's old. I should probably get a new one, but getting a new 3DS is expensive, you know? It's hard to do that. Is this reverse damage? This is reverse damage. I can't believe it.
Ready.
Here we go. You stand on reverse damage. We're gonna like get some like mega numbers here, okay? Ready? Here we go. We're just gonna like end turn. Have our HP refreshed. And then we're gonna just destroy them again with more heals, with more dope heals. Here we go, look at this. And these two are not even on a platform, so they can just die like that. That's nice. Yeah, so my 3DS is like, it's super old, and I should get a new 3DS, and it would like help me play 3DS games a lot more, but it's just expensive. I can't afford that shit. So, you know, Hyrule Warriors is coming out as well next month, and I'm super excited for Hyrule Warriors. What the fuck is this? It's a barbecue place. It's got a sun on it. It's very hot right now. And they're all wrestlers. There's only 3 of them there. Alright, is it raining in Item World right now? Have we ever seen it rain in Item World? Whoa. Why is it raining? I feel like I've never seen that before. Have we seen that before? Am I the first person to ever discover the existence of rain inside Item World? That's fucking cool. That's super cool. Anyway, what were we talking about? Hyrule Warriors. Hyrule Warriors Definitive Edition. That game, if you did not have a Nintendo Wii U, but you have a Switch, go out and buy Hyrule Warriors. It's the best Dynasty Warrior game on the Nintendo system. It's the best Dynasty Warrior game in a while. Dynasty Warriors 9 not being very good. It's great. Like, holy shit. Hyrule Warriors is so good. I'm buying it. I'm rebuying it on my Switch. I have it on the Wii U and the Switch at this point. We did do an entire. We won't do a playthrough of it because we did do an entire playthrough. You can go back and check that playthrough of Hyrule Warriors. Is in the playlist section of the channel. You can go and check it out if you want to have a little look. The game is going to have a few more characters, I believe, and it's got all the DLC involved as well, so that's always nice to have all the DLC. I didn't buy any of the DLC either, so that's quite nice to actually have access to that. So that's quite cool. The Elder Scrolls Online gets another expansion, Somerset, if you can believe that. Elder Scrolls seems to have turned it around a lot. Elder Scrolls, they at one point were facing death and, you know, free to play death zone of like MMOs, to having 2 expansions, and the game actually not being the fucking worst. It's actually okay. I quite like Elder Scrolls Online. There are its issues. Its Crown Store, I think, is a little fucking cheeky for a start. And the combat is fine, but it's not super exciting. You know, it's like it doesn't feel like you have much of an impact when you're playing the combat. That's basically the biggest problem with Elder Scrolls Online, I think. But everything's voice acted, and it's super nice. So maybe that's on PC though. I think you have to wait a month if you're on console, which is not ideal actually. It's kind of a fuck up that they would do that. I guess they've separated. You're already separated, the PC and PlayStation communities, which is also a bad choice. They should absolutely all be connected. You should, if you're having an MMO, you should be desperate to get your worlds as full as possible and have as many people as you possibly can on there, you know? Like, that's crazy. Mega Man coming out. State of Decay 2, apparently. I don't know what that is. Persona 3, Persona 4, and Persona 5 Dancing All Night. Or Dancing Moonlight? Dancing Star Night, Dancing All Night. Oh, they're 3 different titles. Anyway, rhythm games. I've never played one. Are they good? Does anyone actually have any information on those? Do people like them? They're dancing games, right? Are they like Dance Dance Revolution games, or are they like button press games? I don't actually know. But if it's a Dance Dance Revolution game, I'd be into that. Let's go. Let's get some fucking DDR. I mean, DDR wasn't the most accurate representation of dancing, but it was fun. It was fun, right? People still like DDR. It feels like such an old thing to ask, doesn't it? People still like DDR. Jesus. But anyway, more importantly, Harvest Moon comes out. That's right. And Harvest Moon, you think I'd be super excited? You think I'd be like all up the wall? Fucking new Harvest Moon. I'd be freaking out. I'd be bouncing off the walls. It looks like a fucking mobile game. Like gloves off. Very like complete honest opinion. It looks trash. I don't understand. I don't know how they made it. How they did that. Stardew Valley managed to look completely gorgeous upon release, and it's still updating and stuff like that. And Chucklefish's new game also looks fucking gorgeous. The Harvest Moon game, which did look great, Harvest Moon Back to Nature looks better than this. The PS1 game looks better. The N64 game looks better than this. The GameCube game looks graphically superior to this. It looks awful. The trailer is not impressive. I don't know what the hell they were thinking. I don't think this is gonna. This may kill it. This may kill Harvest Moon. I don't know. Then again, Harvest Moon has not had the best entries in the entire world, you know. So there is that, I guess. That's a lot of levels. That's a lot of levels. So the last game that I actually wanted to talk about hugely was Dark Souls. Dark Souls Remastered. That is actually going to be on the show. I'm going to play that for a little while. I don't know whether or not I'm going to complete it. Depends if you guys watch and enjoy it and want to see me play more of it. And also depends on if I like it, I guess. I'm going to be honest. I didn't like Dark Souls 1 at all. And then Dark Souls 2 came out, and I really enjoyed Dark Souls 2, and Dark Souls 3 came out, I really enjoyed that. I fucking fell in love with Bloodborne, and I love Neo. So it's like, I've gained a much more of a high appreciation for the Souls games. So that's pretty much why I'm buying the Dark Souls Remastered version, because I think I might be able to get on with it and enjoy it now, that I've got more of an appreciation for the franchise as a whole. But we'll be playing that on the show for a while. I have no idea where I'm going, or what I'm doing. So you guys can help me out by shoving stuff in the thing. Detroit also comes out next month, but I don't really know how to feel about that because I don't know. Heavy Rain was alright. Beyond Two Souls was awful. I streamed that. I streamed Beyond Two Souls with my friend. We sat there and went through the entire game in one sitting. For like 12 hours. Almost died. That was not acceptable. Holy balls, that was not acceptable. So I don't know about Detroit. I might just watch someone play Detroit. I'm sure someone will buy it and play it, right, online. I'll just watch them. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. We talked about a whole lot about stuff about releasing in May and what came out in April today. It took actually a surprisingly 20 dead-on minutes worth of time. And now I'm fucking it all up with my outro that's going to take forever. Next time, we'll talk about Disgaea 1 complete, maybe. And we'll talk about that sort of stuff, because that's going to be interesting, and definitely where this show goes. So, we'll talk about that next time. And also, holy shit, guys, I think, if my calculations are correct, next time is the 100th episode of Attack on Iron World. That's fucking cool. 100 episodes of Attack on Iron World, Season 2. And Season 3 will begin with fucking next one, I guess. I don't know. Depends on whether or not we like that. But hey. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you guys for watching so many episodes of this. If you've watched every single one, you are the true hero. And if you've watched some of them, you're also heroes. Just not the truest of heroes. I don't know what I'm saying. Thank you very much for watching my videos. I love you all very much. I will see you guys next time